Hi guys, it's Dr. Pouria with MedTwist. Today, I'm going to give you a definitive guide on what will and won't break your fast and hinder your results. Let's dig in. So in order for you to understand the mechanics behind what breaks a fast, I need to discuss the differences between being in a fasted state versus a fed state. So when you are in a fasted state, your insulin levels are low, your blood sugar levels are low or within normal limits, and your glucagon hormone levels, which is the counterpart of insulin, is high. Now on the other hand, when you consume food, your body breaks this food down to basic components like carbohydrates, proteins, and fats and absorbs it inside. Now these carbohydrates, for example, break down to simple sugars. The simple sugars reach your pancreas, and by the time they do, your body in response releases insulin. So in a fed state, your insulin levels are high, your sugar levels are high, and your glucagon levels are very low. So now that you know the differences between being in a fasted state versus a fed state, let's take a closer look and find out what shifts you out of a fasted state. Now, before we go any further, it is important for you to remember that all macronutrients, whether they are carbohydrates, fats, or proteins, will to some extent, some more than the others, will have an impact on your insulin levels. So we all know that carbs have the highest glycemic index and they give a really high rise in insulin levels. Proteins, on the other hand, do the same thing but to a much lesser effect. And when it comes to fats, they still have an effect on your insulin levels but to a much lesser degree. So in short, consuming calories, whether they are from carbohydrates, proteins, or fats, will have an impact on your insulin level and will pull you out of a fasted state. Now, artificial sweeteners like Sweeten Low, Splenda, aspartame, sugar alcohols like xylitol, and many other ones out there, they do not necessarily pull you out of a fast, but a few studies have shown that consumption of these artificial sweeteners can have detrimental effects on your gut microbiome, which can lead to problems like IBS, diarrhea, constipation, bloating, indigestion, acid reflux, and many other diseases. Alright, so now that you know the effects of these hormones and how they're supposed to be in your body, whether you are in a fasted state or a fed state, let's try to figure out if we can add milk or cream to our coffee and still be in a fasted state or not. For example, one serving of half and half cream will have about 25 to 50 calories depending on the brand. In this example, I'm using one that has 40 calories per serving. It has about 3.5 grams of fat, which has a little bit of effect on your insulin, 1 gram of carbohydrates, which has a huge impact on your insulin, and 1 gram of protein, which has a minimal effect on your insulin levels also. And therefore, consumption of one serving of cream with coffee will definitely pull you out of a fast for about an hour to an hour and a half until your insulin levels fall back down again and your glucagon levels can rise up. Alright guys, so that was my guide on what will and won't break your fast. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell to stay updated for our upcoming videos. See you next time.